Rod Kusin and Spoolman for risk, September 13th. The value of having these composite lines cannot be overstated. We have the composites, the market profile on the ES, the YM, the INX, and the INDU here. And we're just running some composite market profiles, and you can see where they're at. Okay, guess who's the closest, right? Now, we've already been as low as 18,029. That composite is at 18,025. We're definitely getting some support in this range, and I think we're probably going to drop into this. And partly because of the fact that we've also got 2117. We talked about that number the other day. And it looks like we're heading down in that direction. So we have to be watching the premium very carefully as we get close here to determine whether or not we might bounce before we arrive at these numbers. And the premium's been the sort of telltale on this issue. It's become quite divergent on several occasions already today. So let's just take a look at where we're at. We're looking at these lows, and we've got a low threshold here at 813, and that was tagged, as you can see, right in here. This is also at 813, so it's a powerful number. And we just had this pivot take place here at, let's make sure we can see it correctly. Okay, we just had to refresh that data. This dropped all the way to negative 847. So we knew that we're continuing to come down as we're way below that 813 threshold. And we're still below it on this last pivot. So we're still short, and yet we should be getting very close to this long trade, because we just hit 18,025 on the YM. It came right down there, right where we expected it to. But the premium here is suggesting we're still ready to test maybe one more time this particular low on the ES. Now you see how we did that just a second ago. We came down here, tested this 2175 low. Okay, we were at 2175 here. You see how the premium is not as low here? So that's what we look for in terms of a pattern. And so we get a little bit of a move up. But what we also see now is that these descending threshold lines, the most recent high here, okay? So it just stands to reason, you see, that if we're going to continue to go up, we've got to get above the corresponding low, excuse me, the corresponding high of the premium at this last pivot. We've got to get above that. Now that's not as yet happening, okay? But if this is going to continue to move up, and taking a long trade in here there's reasonableness to take a long trade here, only because the YM's right down to that 025 level. It's now changed to 026 because this profile is constantly updating as we move, just as over here it was at 2117.75. It's now moved up to 2118. that's the way this works. So these profiles, you see, these have gotten hit, and a bounce can be expected. We can still anticipate going down here, but whether or not we will, it can easily be determined by what is happening on the premium. Right? If the premium continues to drop below these threshold lines, the likelihood is that this market will continue to move down. But similarly, we've also got to get above certain threshold levels. So it works both ways. And right now, it seems to me that we're going to move down. Okay, we've done one tick lower. Now let's see the premium update here. And we'll see where this is going to take us. Okay, we'll come back in a minute when we've got a little bit more information. We've moved above this most recent high threshold. We've got a little bit of strength, but it's got to get above these previous ones as well. And you can see the developing divergence on the premium as the market moved down. And we talked about this in an earlier video, how you can tell from the premium when the market's really overbought or oversold. Major pivots are also always associated. Major pivots on the ES are always associated with divergence on the premium. And of course, if you've been following this, you know that there is one caveat to that. But here we've got a nice progressive lower low on the ES and the corresponding higher lows on the premium. That's telling us that we're getting oversold. And we also see that this divergence has to be above a certain threshold level. That's our theory. Okay, that's our theory. This is just through observation, and it seems that this process, easy to follow, is working really quite well. I'd venture to guess, because we're so close to that 18 mark, that we're probably going to go down there and test it. Could be wrong, but we're just not, we don't see enough move up on the premium to sustain these levels. You notice how the premium associated with this high, all right, that was at 711, and as we just moved up here, okay, we were just barely above that level, barely above that level on that last move. And then once we dropped below it, we came down. But we also notice here that the premium is not, it is not dropping. So we're getting this corresponding move back up. So when you see this happen, you got to be really careful, because the premium can do what it just did, drop very suddenly, and take you out of a position. And I'm of the opinion right now that if 18025 does not hold, and we're moving right into it, I can see that on another screen. then chances are this is going to continue to drop. There you go. There you go. Right, that's exactly what it did. Dropped right through that. We're now down at 2050. So probably want to hold this down to that 18 range. We're very close, and then at that point we'll reevaluate. So you've got to look at this stage. You've got to have some number that you're looking at, such as is evident in the market profiles. The market profiles can give us an edge to know where the premium becomes most relevant. Most relevant. And I think we're going to continue to move down. So let's look at the premium in this respect. Look at the low of the premium here compared to the low of the premium in here. Now this is definitely a higher low. But all of a sudden you get this bar here. Lower low. This lower than that. This lower than that. So now the premium is moving down again. And I think we're going to see this continue to move in that direction. Mind you, there's good evidence that we will retrace once we get to this support area. Because we've got some good signs on the premium. This was an interesting bar here, high at 21.25, which didn't quite get tested here. Okay, so our first target on the retracement is going to be back up to 21.25. So from 17 to 25, okay, just do the math. All right, we hold to the idea that a 6-point move is sufficient enough to cause a significant trend change. All right, a significant trend change. 6 points, 6 to 6.5 is enough to do that. And if we drop down to 18, it would be a 7-point move to come back to 25, and that would be a full-fledged trend change in our estimation. Okay, we're getting real close now. So what I like to do is just go ahead and take profits now. We've you know, it's very close to that 18 mark. I'm just going to extend these lines out a little further. Came right down to that threshold line. We think that the line ought to be a little higher right there. But now we're beginning to build moving above this most recent threshold. If we extend this out, we can use that as a little bit more of a bearing. Okay. Good reason to have taken some money off the table, just looking at where the premium was as we moved down to this level. You can see it was moving higher. The lows are higher lows. It's a divergence that we expect to see. Okay, we failed to get above that level. Down the premium comes. ES comes with it. Okay, to save us a little time, we'll come back and we'll see the market make a little bigger move here, which it looks like it's just not to do, so maybe we'll wait. Maybe we'll wait. Now, interestingly enough, the YM is getting right down to 18,000 right as we speak. It's going right down to 18,000. It just dropped below 18,000, 17,999, 97. And I think that's going to hold. Just at 18. $17.75. That was the previous number. Ooh. We dropped below. But I think we're going to find support here. Okay, taking a long trade in here. My stop is right below the low. I'm not going to take any chances on this. Now, if we're right, okay, oh, that's pretty. That is pretty. Yeah. Cool. I like it when it works. All right, even, you know, we're going to get a little resistance here in a couple of ticks. I don't think this is going to just pop up and never look back. Because right around 2050, it's probably going to stall. 2025, 2050. And, you know, goodness, just this little move is enough to make a professional trader happy. You know, just pulling off this move. Okay, we're right there at 2025. Okay. See what's happening for you again. All right. Oh, good. See, that's what we want. We want to see the premium continue to move above these threshold levels as we retrace back up. So if we go way back here, all right, let's just pick the number here. Yeah, the 686 number, that's already been, we're already above that. So this number, and I'll just change the color so you see we're able to identify this a bit more clearly. And we'll just make it cyan. Okay. Nice. Now, if you had your volume matrix, the volume bars on the matrix, in other words, you could see that that area around 2050 is likely going to be a testing area. You're going to have a little hard time getting above it, at least initially. Okay. Nicely done. Okay, so that gives you a little bit of an idea as to some of the things we're doing, how we're doing it, and it's working really well. I'm very happy with this. So, if you want to have a demo, get some further information about what we're doing, how we're doing it, give us a call, send us an email. We'll be happy to schedule you into the demo, which we usually have on Wednesdays or Friday afternoons. This week we've got Friday late afternoon open. If you wish to take a look at this and ask some questions, we'll be happy to address those with you. And I'm Rod Kusman, Spoon Man for RSK.